Hello and welcome to DetailDrummer. Today with us we have Marito Marques, Latin Grammy and Juno nominee drummer, composer and producer. How are you, Marito?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks. How have you been dealing with this lockdown stuff? I know that you usually like to be on your studio and record for other artists. Did this COVID situation affect you as much, or did you felt because you had work to do inside, you could go through it?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it was bad. In a way, it was actually good. It shifted a little bit the way I'm working, because before COVID, I was touring way more, playing more live, recording in different studios, producing a little bit, but not a lot, like a couple artists. But during COVID, people knew, or the artists knew, that I, beside recording drums and tracking drums to other musicians and artists, people knew that I was home and that I could work more as a producer. So that's what I've been doing more since COVID happened. People knew that I was home, because before they were like asking me if I could produce their albums. I'm like, I want to, but I don't really have time because I'm touring or I'm doing this or that. But now that I'm in my studio, I'm home all the time. Why not producing other artists? So that's what I've been doing. It keeps me busy, keeps my brain occupied in a way. Of course, I miss touring and going out and just see friends overall, just like, in the professional and in my personal life. But it's been actually really good as a producer to produce other people and way more people. I'm right now producing 6 different artists. Some of them, they come to the studio. People that are, they live in Toronto. We safely do the sessions, either with a mask or we are in different rooms. And I'm producing another artist from San Francisco, and so that's totally a remote production, because the singer, she can't fly. She was supposed to come to Toronto, stay here. We would produce together, but which is not the case. So
yeah,
COVID changed things in a way for better, and in another not for so much better. But it's good overall.
Do you feel like that can not affect but change your career from now on? Do you think you will focus as much on production as you focus on your drum work, or do you think it's gonna, as soon as things come back to normal, like your live side is gonna call more and you're gonna leave the productions to the side again?
I don't know, but I think I want to go back to whatever I was doing, but also keep doing some of what I'm doing right now. I want to try to keep the balance between both. It's not, it doesn't depend all on me. It's not, whatever happens, I'll just follow the flow and try to readapt, because I believe once things open, I think it's actually going to be great for music. It's been so bad. It's been like, true, for most of like,
I think the first gigs are going to be magical, like people are going to be so receptive and so thirsty for music. Even when you're in stage, you're going to like shake, with emotion, because you're playing and you feel happy for playing, and there's people watching you that feel so happy for having that opportunity again. So I think it's going to be amazing.
And I think it's going to be a mix of emotions too, like that for sure. And even like being almost afraid of playing again live, or what. I'm talking about myself, not about the other musicians, but I think it's going to be like a mix of emotions. Like everything is going to be all at once. It's going to be intense emotionally. I think it's going to be intense. But I think, like, going back to your question, I think it will. I really want to go back to ring for sure, because I miss that. I started playing live when I was 5, and all of a sudden just like stop doing that. It was like,
a part of you missing.
Yeah, exactly. I had to. Yeah. So but at the same time, I want to be a little more home. Have a little daughter. My wife. I want to be more around, and not like be like for 1 month or two out, and then when I come back, my daughter is like, she looks at me and she's not like really she's afraid of coming, close to me and hug me because I'm not a strange, but almost. She was like 1 or 2 months is like a lifetime almost for a baby.
And when you see her, it's so different again. You're like, what?
It's true. It's like we have to reconnect again. It's true. It is true.
It's interesting that you bring that out because it's 10 years now since you released Casa, right? On your album Magic Everywhere. And that song talks about the way you felt on tour and the way you felt at the time. And I wanted to ask you, first of all, to explain more or less what you're feeling at the time when you wrote it, and now because you were in a total different situation in your career, in your life as a personal, like you have a daughter now, you have a full family, so it's harder definitely to go out and to work
for sure
far away. So if you could explain like what you felt at the time and how you're feeling now.
I kind of course, right now it's harder. I'm not gonna lie, because I have I had a family, but my family was like my parents, my brothers, and I'm from a very small town. Arganil, it's a really small town, so I'm connected to the family. But before I was living, in Lisbon, but I was living, some a good part of the year I was living with my parents, just because I would go and stay with them, and where I had the studio in Arganil as well. But it's definitely harder right now. I'm not gonna lie. Before, I remember when I wrote Carta para Casa, it was I was touring in Poland a lot with this singer Maria Jopek. She's a beautiful artist. She has recorded with Richard Bona, Pat Metheny, all these guys, and it was brilliant for me, like with like 22 or 23 years old,
to be around
like that band, and not with Pat Metheny, but anyways, but she was at the time, she was still playing with him. But it was like, I remember, like, we spent the first tour, it was a month and a half in Poland. And for a kid, like a 22 years old kid, it's like, it's fun, it's super fun, because I'm young, I'm exploring, meeting new people, playing a lot of music almost every day in a different city, all of that. But I was missing home, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm super attached to my family in Portugal, and so I wrote that. But nowadays, like the tours I've been doing, some of them they're long, like a month or a month and a half. Some of them just like a week or two. But even a week or two, sometimes, like, it's hard. I love going out. I love, like, the last 2-3 years, I've been touring mostly in North America, and it's long tours, especially last year. Well, 2 years ago, because last year nothing happened. 2 years ago, being in a tour bus for a month or a month and a half, and the good thing is I was playing music every day. I was with great people. New cities every day, and most of them. The other day I saw a post from a friend that he's like, "Oh, I miss playing on stage," and I saw a picture of us playing somewhere in the US. I was like, I don't really remember where this was. I don't remember the stage, because
so many places. It's like
so many places. You just you go to sleep in a tour bus, you wake up in San Diego or whatever, and then you
kind of get to that automatic pilot mode. It's just
exactly.
You get to the stage, play it, and you don't even it's just like, bah,
exactly. But at the same time, you want to get some, you want to be human at the same time, that's what normally happens. Like, you just turn the autopilot on, but at the same time, you have to try to avoid that, because you want to, you're playing to thousands of people. You don't want to be like, okay, just serving you a McDonald's,
Yeah,
a drive. Here you go.
Like a fast music.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to. I try to avoid that, but it's hard. But but nowadays it's definitely like harder to go home. It's like they have to pay me more if they want me to go, because it's not worth it. In a way, or the music has to be so good that I'm like, okay, I'm paying to go. It's not that.
But you have to have some kind of excitement or some kind of
for sure. Yeah, for sure. No, it's true. I don't want to like turn this into like music is a business, and it's our business. I want to with saying that they have to pay me more. I don't want to say that it's like I'm not a businessman. I'm a musician.
But we definitely are. We have to sell our work in order to have money. So if your work is to be an amazing drummer and a creator and a producer, you have to sell your work. If you were good in doing it, people are going to pay more to having you doing that for them. It's I think we never should feel bad for giving ourselves a value, especially if we invest in ourselves and if we think that we are good, not in a rude way or like in a egocentric way, but in a way that yourself and your value, you worked for that. So at a certain point of your life, you need to ask from the others as well to recognize.
For sure. No, it's true. It's true. No,
just healthy.
You're totally right. Yeah. Totally right.
Do you think like the way your career drives through? Because there's some guys that are really targeted on their career, so they know where they want to go, and they like kind of neglect the personal side of their lives. So for like friendships, family, it's just like personal beast mode, just like work focused.
Yeah.
But I personal opinion, I don't think you can be super successful. You can be super successful in that way, but you can be happy and successful in that way, if that makes sense. So how hard is for you to manage your family, friends, personal time without you feeling something is losing? Without you feeling that you're being less productive or less caring with your family, or how do you manage that?
For sure. Yeah, that's actually a great question. I don't think it's ever balanced. I think sometimes it's like you have peaks of either the work or family or friends. It's like, if I'm working for a month, it's a peak on that. And then family is like going, I'm not being as supportive physically around them. But then I come back, I have to compensate that lack of my presence around them. So I think it's I have to think in a long term, not in a, it's not
short term.
Because I can't do those, schedules where, okay, 2 hours with my daughter and then 2 hours studying drums, whatever. And then lunch and then a production session for this artist. It's never like that. Like maybe that's sometimes happens, and it's been happening more now during this past year, where I can schedule a little bit more because I'm home all the time. But if I look at myself 2 years ago, that wasn't the reality. It was totally different. I had to even talk to my wife before, like, hey, I have this this tour. It's a month and a half, and what do you think about it? We have to communicate, and we have to we have to talk and kind of try to understand, to make them understand my point, but at the same time I don't want to detach from them for too long. It's like it's in the long run that you have to think like, okay, it's a month that you're going to be away, and then I have another month that I'm going to be home, and I'm going to take maybe less work.
And having like open conversation, like you with your family, like letting them understand and letting them see what you're doing and why you're doing it. And of course, I think when you choose someone to be, it's because they support you, right? So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the whole point, like you're doing your work, you're doing what you should be doing. Sometimes we just get caught on that, world of professional part. And
no, it's true. And and I'm a, as we say here in Canada, I'm a workaholic.
Exactly.
I work a lot. I do, and because I don't want people to think that, oh, music is just fun. It is fun, but it's not always. Like we work hard. We're like hard workers. We're like, we don't mess around. We're not like here just to to have fun. We are here to have fun, of course, but it's not just that all the time. Sometimes you have to work. I have to be in front of my computer just editing and composing or whatever it is for hours and hours and practice and study and teach and tour and be away from my family. But I do like to work. I'm the kind of person that I spend a lot of hours just working because I like it.
It's true passion.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I love to learn. I love to get better because I know I can get better. Every day it's a new opportunity to get better. So I just try to take that opportunity, basically.
I completely agree with that. I have another question for you, and maybe the last one because I don't want to take much of your time.
That's okay.
But no, I forgot. Wait.
It's okay.
Oh, I know. From listening to your work and what I know from your career, because I've been following your work for a long time. You really like to use Portuguese stuff in your music, and the way sometimes even not in your music, in other people's other artists' music, and give them like your cultural input. So traditional instruments from Portugal, traditional like rhythms, and some like that kind of Portuguese vibe. How important is that for you? How important is your cultural background for your work you do? Is it something you want to, it comes to you naturally, because there's some artists that you can't even tell where they're from, you know what I mean, because they have influences from the States or they have influences from there and there, and even though you can tell you have loads of influences from that part as well, you always bring up your Portuguese side.
I think of course like to me it comes naturally, but at the same time I think about it all the time. Like, for example, I'm recording today something to a session that I'm recording with Babak, an amazing guitar player, producer, and from Iran. Well, he lives in North America, but the singer, she's from Iran. I don't know her. And I'm going to record some Adoof on that. I was listening to the song this morning. I was like, okay, I'm going to use some Adoof. For those who don't know, Adoof is a Portuguese, it's Arab influenced, but it's we use it in Portugal. In Spain, they use it as well. But I think like it just naturally comes to me because it's part of my life. I was born with, even though I'm not from a musician's family, but that's my music. I'm just being honest with whatever I'm doing.
Would you say maybe like the fact that you started to play as early, like you're 5 years old when you started to play, and you started to play some of like traditional Portuguese music? Would you say like that made affect the way, because it's like on the root of your playing, you know what I mean?
For sure. I think whatever we are today, not just in terms of music, in everything, the food we eat or we cook, the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we think, it has to do with how we grew up, where we will grow up. That will define us as we are born with a specific personality, but then we are shaped from our parents, from where we live, from what we eat. So all of that will define us, shape us in a specific way. And that's exactly what happened to me. Like, I was born in Arganil, very rural place, rural music as well, traditional folklore music. And I'm super connected to that. And I more and more I feel that I'm actually connected to that I belong to that, because it's in my blood, just because I was born there, you know. And I think just by doing that in music, I'm just being honest. I'm just playing something that I feel more pure when I'm playing something that I actually belong, you know, to. Because if I'm trying to play some music from Bulgaria, or, you know, or like,
you can enjoy it, but you don't understand it, or you don't feel it the same way.
I'm not going to be honest with the person that it's listening. I'm just like selling something that it's not true, you know. And when I play, and people feel that, like, you know, I don't know if the Adobe that I'm going to record I'm going to even end up sending to the producer. I have to try to see, but that's by listening to the song. I was like, okay, I think it's going to work in this section. I'm going to try recording something. If it works. If it not, that's how live is. Like, we try and then we decide, or if we use it or not. But I think I lost my point here. But anyways, it's just like, I'm just trying to be honest with whoever I'm playing with, you know, because it's sometimes I listen to people that they're like, you know, oh, I've been studying this style for the last 6 months, you know, like Cuban music, you know. Sometimes you see, like, you know, North American musicians playing Cuban music, like, wow, that's so amazing. Like, it's like you were born in Havana.
It's like you're Latin.
But most of the times, nah, it's not that.
The feel is not the same.
But sometimes it happens. And I'm not saying I don't want to, like, I want people to feel, you know, that courage to, oh no, I can do it. And you can do it. You can do it. You just have to go, you know.
I don't think like the problem is on the outcome. So like the way you play it is on inside, you know, like how you feel when you play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if it's natural to you, if you feel like you bounce, your body feels the rhythm that you're playing because it's natural, the way it's gonna show to someone else or listen to someone else even, it's going to be way natural as well. Like, it's going to be clear because it's there. Like, all the roots are there.
For sure. And again, I don't want to say with this that, oh, if you're not born in Portugal, you can't play the Adouf. No, it's not true. You should. Like, I have a bendir, I have crackabos from north of Africa, and I use them. And I'm not from Morocco or from, you know, Algeria or whatever, but I use it in my own way. And we can do that, you know. I try to, when I use those, you know, other instruments that they are not from my country, they're not as familiar to me as the Adouf. First of all, I have to study them and understand, and then I have to adapt them, you know, in my own way, because exactly. So I think we can't try other stuff. We should, because doors are totally open and there are no rules. But I'm just saying that whenever I play, for example,
save what's natural to you and look for more.
Exactly. Yeah. When I play the bendir and people listen to me playing the bendir is one thing, but when I play the Adouf, people, and it's true, I know, I see that people are like, wow, that instrument is so beautiful. While the bendir, they might like it, but I'm not, you know, I'm just trying to adapt my playing on that. And sometimes it works great, especially on recordings, not live, but live, I bring the Adouf, man. I tour with my Adouf. Yeah.
Amazing. Marito, thank you very much for taking your time to talk with me. Check all his social media and all his stuff online. It's way worth it to check. Also, his new single, it's amazing and brings out that Portuguese character that we were talking about. If you like this channel, please subscribe it to see more interviews like this and give it a like. Thank you.
Thank you.